Whatever the case may be, the three of us headed to the staff room.
あ、来たわね。
It wasn't the principal, it was just the homeroom teacher.
悪いわね。急に呼び出して。
Our homeroom teacher, Nita, Nita, I guess, yeah, came out from the staff room.
大事なことだから、なるべく早く伝えたくて。ちょっとこっちに来てもらえるかしら。
She had apparently been the one to call us here.
どうぞ。
Damn. Excuse me.
どうも。失礼します。そこに座ってちょうだい。
Everyone silently took their seats as prompted.
先生、早速ですけど、大事なお話というのは。うん、私も早く聞きたい。
The two girls were being hasty. I watched carefully, effectively taking a back seat to these proceedings.
わかったわ。小日向さん、鹿島さん。1学期いっぱいで、行動部とボランティア部、どちらの部も廃部になるわ。
It's because they don't have enough members? Is it because, I should say.
どうして？
But like, why is you here? You know? Is it because he's the decider on which club gets to go and which one doesn't? Which one gets to stay and which one has to go? Hibiki and Kashima both stood up and closed in on Nita.
ごめんなさい。実は、2学期からうちの学園長が変わるのよ。
Ah, why?
新学園長は風見学園を抜本的に改革するって。
I mean, like, I understand that headmasters change, right? But like, I'd usually think they would wait until the next year, right? Not the next semester. Kazumi Academy had a tradition of freedom and an educational policy that promoted its students individually. That was going to change.
うちは進学率は落ちてるし、クラブでも大きな実績がないでしょ？
Right.
少子化で生徒数も減ってるし、このままってわけにはいかなくなったの。
Oh, this is... I mean, it's been the Japanese declining birth rate has been a problem for a while, but like, I never expected to see it in a visual novel.
だからって突然すぎよ。
So what you're saying is that the only reason they're disbanding the clubs is because there's not enough babies being made. Well, considering that you is the protagonist of an eroge, of a visual novel, like, all I'm saying is that he's got a few waifus that he can... Never mind.
そうです。応募です。ごめんなさい。
Nita was still new and apologized like crazy, seemingly intimidated by the overwhelming pressure? Oh god. The pressure the pair of the young students exerted. How pitiful. Both of you settle down. This isn't Nita's fault. I calmed them both down.
理由をもっと詳しくお願いします。私も詳細な意見を求めます。
They both finally chilled out and returned to their seats.
実はね。
Sensei began her awkward explanation. Kazumi Academy had, in spite of its municipality, various extracurriculars that other schools didn't. This was to become an academy capable of becoming the foundation upon which talented individuals could be fostered, apparently. The academy was symbolic to Kazumi City, one where they spared no expense when it came to education. However, circumstances have changed.
予算がそうなんですか？予算が大幅に削減された？ ええ。去年税収が大きく減っちゃったらしくて、それで学園を存続させるために外部の教育アドバイザーに学園の立て直しを依頼したの。
And that person is the new headmaster.
そうよ。
抜本的改革とは何をするんですか？
まずは成績別のクラス編成。成績のいい生徒とそうでない生徒は違うカリキュラムになります。
Hang on a minute. That sounds a bit backwards. What different curriculums exactly?
ちょっと待ってよ。それじゃあ今のクラスは？
なくなります。2学期からは新しいクラスに変わるの。
Yeah, they use terms in this visual novel. Instead of they don't use semesters, so there's no it's not 2 semesters a year. It's 4 terms, I guess. Well, I don't know.
そんな、せっかく皆さんと仲良くなったのに。
They might even do 5 terms. I'm not sure. But the problem is, I'm basing it off of my education system. But we don't have summer break. All right, that's just Christmas. But we don't. There is not a 3-month period. I'm thinking of America now, where you just don't go to school. At most, it lasts 2 months, and even then, it's like the first week in December is still school, and like the last week of January is when school starts. Right? So even then, it's like only 6 weeks at most. I don't. Oh, fuck it. Cuts me a bitter lip. Either way, it's irrelevant. Let's just say at this. I was disappointed too. I had Kashima, Kagerazaka, and even Hibiki in my current class. I forgot that's what his name was. It would be lonely to wind up in a different class from them.
あと、部活動は実績のないところは廃部になるわ。
Right, so what you're saying is that they need noteworthy accomplishments. I think Volunteer Collective would be on that list of notable accomplishments, like cleaning up the beach. They're doing volunteer work. Would that not be a good? Would that not help with the reputation of the school? I guess I guess the reputation doesn't really matter. What would a club have to do for something that to be recognized as a noteworthy accomplishment?
そうね。新学園長が決めるからなんとも言えないけど。
What, like winning the chess club? I mean, like getting first in chess, or I don't know.
大きな大会に出場したとか、賞を取ったとか。
Wait, I wasn't serious about the chess thing. But I kind of get it.
うちの学園をいい意味で有名にするようなことだと思うわ。
So it is about reputation. See? This is what I mean. Volunteer Collective is a great way to increase the school's reputation. Especially because they wear the school uniforms while doing their volunteer work. Alright? Active is on hot coals. Is in. They're the one in danger. Honest, they're the one actually in danger.
新しい学園長はとにかく有名校にすることにこだわっているから。
If that's the case, then that would leave only mainstream clubs like the baseball club and the soccer club. Our academy had lots of tiny clubs aside from the active and negative. I love that he uses negative, even though it is only Hibiki who refers to Volunteer Collective as negative. Under the pretext of the school's custom of freedom, students had started one small-scale club after another. They were performing a clean sweep of them all.
応募よ！生徒は学園の宣伝係じゃないわ！そうですよ。派手な実績しか認めないなんて、あんまりです。
Hibiki and Kashima handed Nita some more. Again, you two, calm down. There was nothing they could do to change this by yelling at Nita.
ごめんなさい。
すみません、つい。
At this rate, at the rate of things we're going, the active and negative would be dissolved in the first term, and I was sure we'd be in separate classes in the second term.
それで、今度は遠野くんに関わるお話なんだけど。
What about him? He's done nothing, essentially. Yes, ma'am. While I was lost in thought, Nito turned toward me.
さっきの学園改革の関係でね。
Are you saying they're like doing some shit with his scholarship that... Right.
本当に申し訳ないんだけどね。
I have a good feeling about this. Right.
小学生制度もなくなるの。
Why? I thought the whole point of a scholarship is to incentivize people to get good grades. Especially if they're coming from a poorer household. This is completely backwards. What? Nine, 7, 8. I first met her early last summer. 863. A week later, she said hello, to me with an awkward smile. 755. I asked her a question the following week. What are those numbers for? Those are my youth count. Whatever that means. I had no idea what that meant. And 666, the number of the devil. Suddenly, she vanished.
おいおい、どうすんだよ。うちの部もこのままじゃ廃部だぞ。
俺んとこも特に実績ないし、廃部になるかも。
そんな、せっかく今日まで頑張ってきたのに。
なんとかならないの？次のコンクールまでまだあるのに実績を作れなんて。どうすればいいのよ。
After school, it was announced to her in homeroom that several clubs would be dissolved due to the academy reformation. It was the hot topic all across campus. That went for our group as well.
はーい、全員集まったわね。
それでは、行動部とボランティア部合同の緊急会議を始めます。
After school, given recent events, the active and negative decided to have a joint discussion. Ritsu and I were also present. We would lose the place where we belonged should the scholarship program be dissolved after all.
まずは状況を整理して、課題を共有しましょう。学園側は何と言ってきたの？
はい、私から説明します。
Ritsu placed a 10-inch tablet on the table. The screen read key points of the Kazumi Academy Reformation Project.
その1、学園長が実績がないと判断した部は廃部にする。
行動部もボランティア部も対象ですよね。
That's like the least important part of the thing.
どっちも賞なんて取ってないしな。
その2、成績別クラス編成と小学生制度の撤廃。
See, that's like the most important part.
進学率を上げるために優秀な生徒は別カリキュラムにして。
Yeah, but there's no point in getting a separate curriculum if there is no fucking point if you can't even afford to go to fucking school.
そして費用削減のために小学生制度は撤廃とする。
Yeah. it would dissolve scholarship programs, and it would lead to less skilled people entering the workforce. Richard's voice got quieter as she read aloud. That made sense. Those 2 bullet points would have a huge direct influence on our lifestyles.
遠野先輩と律は小学生でしたよね。
Yep.
今後はどうなるんですか？私は先生からとにかく親族の方と相談してみてって。
It wasn't like the academy itself was trying to push us out. Then what the fuck are they trying to do? We would go to any adults we could trust for assistance. We would go to any adults we could trust for assistance. They were willing to recommend me to another academy with a scholarship program.
遠野くんの成績なら推薦も難しい話ではないんでしょうね。
Yeah, but here's the thing. Doesn't the scholarship program also allow them to live nearby the school, right? Isn't the place they're living in also provided by the school? Dexter, I need to know, because I fucking forgot. Alright? Because they definitely aren't fucking paying off that. Dexter, is the place Ritsu and you living in provided by the school through the scholarship program? Because because it's like, how else are they able to? No? Okay. Because the thing is, right, it is just so convenient for them that I don't know. It's like a 50-50. It's just dumb that you would get rid of the scholarship program to your school. Unfortunately, it's a boarding school outside of the prefecture, and I would only be exempt from paying tuition. Let's hypothetically assume Ritsu would transfer with me. If we lived separately in the male and female dorms, it would come with excessive living expenses. We needed to consider the cost of moving as well. It's possible we would just barely scrape by, but our financial situation was looking quite dire. It's another issue too, because you is the only one working at the moment, because Ritsu's kind of like too young to work. But if he had to move, where would he? How? He would have to look for another job, and during that period of time, there would be no money. Right? He would barely be scraping by. Right? Like he says. But that's if they had that's if you was able to provide for them financially. But if they moved, he would only have a certain time limit, right? Before he can get another job. And if he doesn't get another job at that time, well, let's just say that let's just say that it would be a bad idea to move to a different school. Maybe I could take a temporary leave of absence.
そんなダメだよ。お兄ちゃんだけ働くつもりでしょ。
No shit?
そんなの私絶対に嫌だよ。りっちゃん。
Judging by her change in tone, she was close to breaking down into tears.
私も絶対嫌。断固反対よ。せっかくここに戻ってきたのに、今度は優がいなくなっちゃうなんて。
Hibiki, this isn't about you, okay? This is about you and Ritsu, alright? Kono, it's not about Hibiki.
私、絶対に認めないわ。
私たちより当の兄弟の方が深刻ね。
Also, what do you mean us? You aren't related to Hibiki, you're just a fucking simp. Kaido wore a stern expression. I mean, they are cousins, but still. As reckless as she could be when it came to Hibiki, she really was a nice and serious person at her core, even if she beats up you all the time. She genuinely seemed worried about us.
ねえトノ、相談なんだけど。
What is it?
なんとか学園の改革を阻止できない？
I mean, like, that is like the only option they have, right? Huh?
ここにいる全員が困っている原因は全て進学園長の改革案でしょ。それさえご破産になれば私たちの生活は今まで通りよ。
That wasn't as bad as I...
進学園長に考えを改めてさえもらえれば。
I agree with what you're saying, but it was true that if we made that happen, well, our worries would disappear. Would they even hear us out, though? We didn't even know who the new headmaster was yet.
でも、俺たちがどうやって説得するんですか、カイドウ先輩。
Like, surely they would listen to a what would how would you say it? Not top-ranking student. Like, top-scoring student. Yeah, that... I guess.
行動部もボランティア部も今後、派手な実績なんて作れそうもないんですよ。
そうです。そもそも進学園長の結果重視の考え方が私たちと相反してます。私は自由な校風の風見学園のままがいいんです。
そうよ、鹿島さんの言う通りだわ。新学園長の方針通りの学園になったら、私がここに転校してきた意味がなくなっちゃう。そんなのダメよ。私はユウとアクティブでいっぱい遊びたいんだから。
Hibiki rose from her seat and tugged at my right hand.
小日向さんと初めて意見があった気がします。
そうかもね。
でも優しい遠野くんはボランティア部の方が向いてます。
Kashima stood up and grabbed my left hand.
ユウ、私の方がいいわよね。
No, I don't. I'm good.
遠野くん、私ですよね。
Yeah. The two girls pulled me from both sides. But like, Riri, you're walking a fine line here. You're getting kind of annoying as well. Hey, wait, both of you, calm down.
なんでよ。幼馴染の私より鹿島さんのがいいっていうの？
幼馴染とかそういうしがらみを持ち出すのはずるいです。
Neither would let me go.
しおりも手伝って。ユウをこっちに引き寄せるのよ。
Why would you get Shiori to do it? What about Nogiko? She's the strongest one here. What?
小日向先輩がそう言うなら。
Why would you get Shiori to do it? Hiragi looked at me.
遠野先輩、アクティブに入ってください。
Oh, that's what you're doing. You're trying to convince him. I thought you were trying to pull him over to your side. Literally. Shouldn't we focus on preventing the club from being dissolved first? Oh yeah, and then Ritsu can try to convince you. This isn't the time for infighting between our clubs.
ごもっともです。
Hiragi firmly nodded.
小日向先輩、失敗しました。あんたね。
Hibiki's shoulders dropped with disappointment at Hiragi's poor resolve. They're both small clubs to begin with. Help each other out and work together.
それは無理があるぜ、ユウ。活動内容が違いすぎる。
You need to reach a compromise. I've suggested the mature choice.
はあ？ネガティブとアクティブがどう歩み寄るのよ。
I don't know. Fuck. Wait, no, that's not what you're meant to do. Hibiki eyed me dubiously.
うちの方針はみんなで楽しく遊んで青春するこ
Shut up.
私たちの方針は、皆で困っている人を助け、共に素晴らしい青春を送ることです。
Shut up. The youth part is the only part the youth part is the only point where you both match up, huh? Otherwise, they were like water and oil.
遊びと奉仕では活動方針が違いすぎます。無理です。それについては、私も同意見よ。
Hibiki and Kashima glared at each other with me in the middle. Yeah, but... I don't know if this is a good example. You can... water and oil can be mixed together if there is... Oh, I forgot what the word was. A binding agent. And that binding agent is you. I don't know what I'm saying. They maintained their grip on my hands.
待って二人とも。このまま揉めていても共倒れよ。さらには、当の兄弟も小学生資格を失う。
Yeah, that's like the more important part of this whole thing.
それが一番良くないわ。それはわかるでしょ。
Kato, the most senior among us, just because she's in the third year, the only one in the third year, it made an argument to them both. Her voice was quiet yet chiding.
それは、そうですけど。
They both finally seemed to calm down.
じゃあカイドウ先輩はどうしたらいいと思うんすか？
当の。
Her face tensed up as she looked at me. Yes. Her tone prompted me to straighten my back in my seat.
一時的でいいから、私たちのリーダーになってくれない？
Wait, I was being... my analogy didn't really make much sense, but like... I wasn't far off, I guess. If this is how they're going to resolve the issue between the two clubs. Huh?
目的が同じなら、アクティブとボランティア部が一緒に行動した方がいい。そのために、響きでも鹿島でもないリーダーが必要よ。
Which is why you turn to me.
遠野は昔から人の心の機微を読める男だったわ。あんたは昔から頭がいい。それにバイトで多くの大人たちと接して世間知もある。私たち全員あんたの指示に従うから、改革案を撤回させる方法を考えてみてくれない？
I was surprised by Kaido's unmerited high appraisal of me. She had a high opinion of me than I realized. Unmerited. That is... I mean, I understand what the word kind of means, right? Is that she is praising him not based off of the things he's done, I guess. But, hold on a second. Do you really think I could handle something like that on my own?
そうね。遠野だけに押し付けるのは良くないわね。遠野はみんなの意見をまとめて最善の案を考えてくれればいいわ。私たちは私たちで改革を阻止する案を考える。それならどう？
Are you really sure that's what you mean? Are you sure that's what you want?
あんたしかいないのよ。
You know, both the active and volunteer collective will be abolished if I fail, right?
その時は仕方ないわね。素直に進学園長に従うわ。
Right. So the water and oil analogy might not be that good, but what is a better analogy is like fucking cacio e pepe, right? Because the whole point of that dish essentially is just, okay, it's very simple to make, right? You just have pasta and you have cheese and you have pepper, right? But the problem is that the cheese, I guess you could I will say, is Hibiki, and the pasta, which is fucking Riri, don't really combine that well together. But the way you can combine them together into essentially making like a creamy sauce with basically what is only cheese and pasta water, which is you in this analogy, right? That's a. I don't know. I just wanted to make an analogy around this because he called them water and oil. Whatever.
みんな、それでどう？響も鹿島も、とりあえずトーナの取り合いはなしよ。一時休戦して。
Because here's the thing. If they wouldn't be fighting over each other if you were in both of their clubs, right? Quote unquote. And if you want that, you combine the clubs together, and the compromise is that you is in both of them. I don't know. Senpai looked around at everyone. She wasn't acting like her usual self. The look in her eyes was serious and unwavering. Yeah. This was the type of person she was by nature, when she isn't a simp for Hibiki.
そうね。わかったわ。鹿島もいい？はい。熱くなってすみませんでした。
This is like one of those rare instances where the simp for a character is better than the character they're simping for, right? Because if you think of like other examples of a character in anime that's simping for a different character, they are like the most annoying character in that anime, right? But in this instance, Nagiko is hundreds of times better than Hibiki currently. She might get a little more annoying in the future, I'm not sure. Fuck, I didn't read that. They simultaneously relinquished... both presidents buried the hatchet. They simultaneously relinquished their hold on my hands.
そういうことで、今日はお開きにしよう。みんなで立ち向かえば、きっといい方法が見つかるわ。遠野、みんなをまとめてね。
Roger, senpai. Thank you very much. I didn't think you had that much faith in me.
別に客観的事実を言っただけよ。
I mean, I get that Nagiko likes you, right? And that's why she came up with this solution, right? Instead of going fully into following everything that Hibiki says, right? But still.
それよりバイトの時間は大丈夫？
She's not annoying, unlike Hibiki. Oh, yes. It's getting that time of, so excuse me. I stood up and left the club room.
最後は遠野先輩に委ねられるのですね。
Yeah, you're giving him a lot... This is the problem. He's already got a lot of shit on his plate already. You don't need to add more shit to the already pile on his plate. Already shit pile on the plate.
お兄ちゃん、どうするのかな?
He's gonna crash the fuck out. What do you think is gonna happen? He's gonna burn out as shit.
言うならきっとやってくれる
わ。Are you sure?
私たちも何かできることがないか考えてみましょう。
I have a good feeling about this.
待つだけの女じゃないわ。私は欲しいものは自分から掴み取りに行く。その上でユウにアクティブにも入ってもらうの。小日向さん、一時休戦するのでは？だからユウの意思で選んでもらえるようにするの。うちの部の良さをアピールするだけよ。それならいいでしょ、ナギ。まあ、揉めずに無理強いでないのなら。ならうちだって負けてません。遠野くんにこれまで以上にうちの部を押します。
I'm getting a fucking headache.
もうプッシュ。いえ、 倍プッシュです。だ。ユウは絶対私を選ぶわ。あらあら、その言葉をそっくりお返ししますね。
Don't ara me.
女の戦いが始まりましたね。
怖え。やっぱ女怖え。
Yeah, but like, kind of hot, right? Wait, never mind. Alright, what to do? After splitting up with the others, I took a seat on the bench alone before work. The active and negative both would cease to exist if I failed. I think the bigger issue is the fact that you wouldn't be at school. You wouldn't. It doesn't fucking matter if their clubs disband if you aren't a part of either of them. That's why they made the clubs in the first place. Hibiki mostly. Not to mention Ritsu and I wouldn't be able to keep up our current lifestyle anymore. We wouldn't be able to keep up any other lifestyle if the... Yeah. It would also mean we won't be able to hang out together anymore. Honestly speaking, if the... Here's the thing, right? If the scholarship program were to fucking die in the dirt, the best option for you is just to never go to school again, right? His best option is just to work, right? And it's just to work and make a bunch of money so that he can support Ritsu, so that she can go to school, right? That's the problem. I didn't want that. Truthfully, I could care less about all this youth stuff. Yeah, me too. But to say goodbye to friends, what's more, to be separated in this way was just... Give me a break. The pain of sudden separation. That was something I had known since my childhood. I didn't want the others to experience that same level of grief. Hang on. The disbandment of a club is not on the same level of what you're going through, okay? Or what you've gone through. But yet, I didn't want to go through that again either. I didn't drop my phone or anything.
Senpai.
Look. Fucking. No sooner did I hear someone call out to me from behind, did I feel a pair of arms encircle my neck. Finally, the new character. Is that you, Hijiri? What is that name? I shouted, as she constricted my windpipe.
そうっすよ。当の先輩の愛しい後輩のひじりキッカス。
Kicker's better. I don't want to use Hijiri.
もしかして自分のこと忘れてたんすか？相変わらず先輩は釣れないっすね。
I'm gonna love her personality too.
もっと自分の愛を感じてほしいっす。
Maybe not so much the choking part, but Hijiri ran her mouth rapid fire and hugged even tighter. What's more, she was strangling me. I haven't forgotten you. I haven't forgotten I know I can't even forgotten you. Who? Come on, I can't breathe. Let go. Struggle. I tried desperately to get out of Hijiri's stranglehold.
先輩、何暴れてるんすか？はい、どう。あと、滑舌超悪いっすね。
That's your fault. False. Yeah, that works. I tapped Hijiri's arms to get my intentions across.
ああ、そういうことっすか。
Ah!
でも自分はもうちょっと先輩臭を堪能したいんで。
Hang on. Oh, fuck.
あ えてこのままで。
Dexter, can you... Who is Kika's voice actress? Okay, well... But... By Brian to kill me? Are you trying to kill me?
あー、くんくん。先輩の匂い、癒されるっす。
Are you a pervert? Pervert?
このかすかに感じる汗がたまんないっすね。
See, this is why it would have been better if there was a voice actor. Alright, if you had a voice actor.
青春臭っす。くんくんくん。
Hidariki Pink. Kinu? I was not expecting Kinu from MKC. Stop it. This was supposed to be a pure this is supposed to be a pure love game. Lay off with the sexual assault with me as the victim. There's something totally off about this. I had a man to stand in. And then he died. Wait, hang on. See, the problem is I'm not sick anymore, so it's harder for me to wheeze. Yeah, there you go.
大丈夫っすか？
Alright. Now that she's here, there's a new ranking. Everyone has gone down. Actually, Nagiko, she's gotten better. Ritsu's gotten a bit more annoying about the whole fucking you should join my club shtick. I kind of knew it. Bro, shut up. I thought I was a goner. I sat on the bench and let out heavy breaths when she finally released me from her grasp. She'd nearly sent me to Nirvana. That probably would have been better than leaving. Never mind.
ごめんっす先輩。当の先輩が苦しんでる表情が可愛くてつい。
Fuck! Shut up! How big of a sadist are you? Don't hit me. Tehe nanda yo. Never mind. She giggled without a single shred of sense.
せっかく自分が来たのに当の先輩が黄昏てるんで。ちょっとお茶目したっす。
You're definitely going to kill someone someday without meaning to. And I hope it's me. Never mind. I shuddered at the thought.
元気づけるつもりだったんすよ、マジで。
If that's what you were after, then you could talk to me like a normal, like a normal person.
女の子に抱きつかれた方が男子嬉しいんじゃないっすか？
They also like being choked by girls, but that's a different. That's only in the bedroom. Isn't it more of a stranglehold than a hug in your case? Maybe don't hug his neck. You can hug his everywhere else, especially his penar. Never mind. Keep that strength of yours in check. Maybe if she squeezes that hard around his neck. Never mind.
優しくギュッとしてってことっすか？
Yes. Around his penar. Never mind. If you're going to hug me, then gentle would be better.
先輩やらしい。いいっすよ、先輩なら特別に。どうぞっす。
Hijiri opened both of her arms wide and welcomed me.
これで今夜の先輩のおかずは自分で決まりっすね。
Excuse me? Like hell I'd do that. I don't use SmackBank. I use Pornhub. What? That wasn't something a girl should say. Anyway, where have you been lately? this was the first time I'd spoken to her since we switched to our summer uniforms.
ああ、まあ自分もいろいろあるんすよ。
Wait, so you met her while you were in your winter uniforms? I guess it happened before the game. Obviously. What does a lot mean?
それは乙女の秘密っすね。
She's discovering more about herself. Through whatever. Never mind. If you're really a lady, then start acting like it. What sort of a lady would put you in a headlock the second she sees you? My kind of lady. Hang on a minute. So what were you up to? What were you up to? Yeah, what were you up to?
ですから乙女のトップシークレットっすよ。
It's human nature to want to expose something being kept hidden from you, like the JFK files. I
いやーそんな強引になんて先輩のエッチ。あ、その目いいっす。ゾクゾクしてたまんないっす。
Maybe it's a good thing that no one else is around her. Hijiri twisted her body in place. Or something else.
当の先輩、なんでそんなに自分のこと詮索するんすか？あ、わかったっす。
She plopped her hands together. There was no way this would be anything good.
さては先輩、自分に惚れたんすね。
As if I'd fall for you, moron.
なんで秒速で否定するんすか？自分の乙女心傷ついたっす。
I'd fall for you. Never mind. In what universe are you a damsel?
もしかしてもともとは乙女は男のことを指してたって言いたいんすか？だから自分は乙女じゃないって言うんすか？
What? Not even close. Don't start spouting lies and acting like they're plausible. It was always like this when we were together. I didn't know much about Kika Hijiri. I had nearly zero data on her other than that she was 1 year younger than me.
で、話戻しますけど。
And that's where you get Ritsu and Shiori to gather data on her.
どうして黄昏れてたんすか？話聞きますよ、自分。
I don't think telling you will help anything.
いやいや、こう見えて自分頼りになるっすよ。
Oh yeah? I had my extreme doubts. I guess it didn't hurt anything to tell her, and it wasn't something I needed to hide. With that, I explained the situation to Hijiri.
なるほど。それはなかなかきついっすね。
So now that I've said that, maybe you should tell me what your secret is.
急に渋くなりましたね、この学園。何かあったんすかね？
It is city run. They could be in serious financial trouble due to the loss of revenue.
観光客減ってるんすかね？自分あんまりわかんないっすけど。
No, it's because of the declining birth rate. I haven't heard anything like that. Kazumi City shouldn't have been going through any particular economic difficulties. Did that mean the financial struggles were a lie? Did that mean it was simply the city changing their educational policies? Either way, I couldn't fathom why they would lie about that. Was there any benefit to deceiving us?
それで、どうするつもりなんすか、先輩。
To be blunt, I have no idea. So what I'm getting at is that there is some corruption in the government. That is to be expected.
それは言い換えれば、いずれは何とかするってことっすね。
I guess maybe not government. Maybe it's strictly in the school. that someone is embezzling funds so they aren't able to distribute the adequate amount of financials throughout the school. I didn't say that. If I can, anyway. I plan to do everything that I could. Listen, all I'm saying is I don't think this is the kind of game what I don't think this kind of game would be about exposing corruption in the school board, in the higher ups that run the school. Right? It's a bit more slice of life than that. Even if Yu's situation is horrible, for my sake, and for my friends.
一つ提案があるっす。
Lay it on me.
先輩が問題を解決した後に
Once I've solved my problem,
タイプの女子のいる部に入部すればいいっす。
well, the problem is that the two girls that are the closest to him that are running the clubs, they're kind of annoying. You know, case in point, they're at the bottom of the list. You know. Hang on. Yeah, I plan to do everything I could for my sake. Yeah. Where's this coming from?
もしかしたら感謝されて付き合えるかもしれないっすよ。
Hijiri laughed a nasty nihihi to herself. You're so impure.
男子ならごく当たり前の発想っす。
You underestimate men too much. Not all men want girlfriends. Well, yes, they do. Most of them do. I know one person who doesn't. I'm looking right at him. And I'm not referring to you. I didn't have the time to spare for romance.
先輩、逃げちゃダメっすよ。覚悟して先輩もそろそろ青春するっす。
Hijiri poked at my chest with her index finger. I left well enough. I left well enough alone since this happened all the time. I left her well enough alone. What? Remember what I told you before? I don't have the free time or money for that.
なんならお金自分が出しましょうか？
I mean, I expected her to be rich, but like, I couldn't help but shout at her surprising proposal.
自分ち金だけはあるんで。
Yeah, I expected that. You come to the school. Your family's well off.
この封筒に10万入ってるっす。
Hijiri took out a manila envelope and flapped it in the air to further emphasize her point. Okay, maybe she's trolling a bit.
これで自分に先輩を売ってくださいっす。
Whoa. Listen, I would, but not for 100,000 yen, alright? You're selling him a bit short.
パパ活ならぬ後輩活ってことで。
What the hell was this supposed to do? What the hell is this supposed to be? Just sell myself? Sell myself in what way?
この夏、自分と青春してほしいっす。
An awfully vague request. But in slightly more concrete terms.
そんなこと、女の自分の口からは恥ずかしくて。
Hijiri's cheeks suddenly flushed.
もう先輩、いやらしいっすね。
She smacked me on the shoulder so hard it hurt. Aren't you the naughty one here? What was this underclassman girl even thinking? Anyway, put that envelope away.
自分と青春するのダメっすか？
Where did you even store that shit?
今みたいにたまに会って話してくれればいいだけっすけど。
That's not something you try to buy with money. Maybe I should say, I don't mind doing this much for free.
でも自分、先輩助けたいっす。
That would be nice. But I don't think he's that kind of guy. The sentiment is plenty. Besides, I don't hate talking with you either. You and I are equals. I don't want money to get in the way of that. I turned away from Hijiri when I said that. I was kind of embarrassed.
そうっすか。わかりました。自分が間違ってたっす。
You get it, right? That was a relief.
次は20万包んでくれっす。
Okay, still selling them a bit too short. That's like barely $2,000, alright? You don't get it at all.
冗談っすよ、冗談。
She smacked my shoulder again. That hurts. Would you reel it in a little?
すんません。自分その辺苦手で。
Don't just say you're bad at something. Learn from your mistakes.
先輩で学ぶっす。
Really? She was a lost cause.
じゃあ、自分そろそろ行くっす。先輩と久しぶりに話せて楽しかったっす。
Oh, wait. Today's the day. Today's the day. Tell me what class you're. Hey, she's gone already. She got away from me again. That girl was incredibly elusive. And she's left behind a single bird. This again? There was a blue origami crayon on the bench. A number was written on its wing with rounded handwriting. 659. The youth counter. What a weird game. I took the crayon in hand and stood up. It was then that I realized I was in a significantly better mood. Time to head to work. You're late for work. You're fired. And then mood ruined. Welcome. I will show you to your seat. Today is my first afternoon shift in a while. Thank you very much. We look forward to your next visit. Although the recent news from the academy weighed heavily on my mind, I had to focus on my work. I plotted out an efficient workflow and served customers with an eloquent smile from beginning to end.
かっこいいお兄ちゃん。
Oh my god, she's so cute. Oh my god.
この子がどうしてもあなたに会いたいって。
Thank god I don't have to voice her. Hina and her mom both waved to me. Does this technically mean she has a sprite? I mean, no, a sprite would mean like an individual character model. She exists, let's just say. Thank you very much. I'm honored. Here's a ticket for a free dessert. Please be sure to use it. I gave my tiny customer a polite bow and handed her the ticket.
お兄ちゃんからのプレゼント。
まあ、すみません。
Not at all. Thank you for your continued patronage. Eat lots of yummy food with your mum, okay, Hina?
Hi.
Now then, please wait just a moment. I gave them the largest, most brilliant smile I could muster. Several customers approached me in the meantime.
当のチーフ目当てのお客さんがあんなに。
すごいでしょう。実は遠野くんがいる日といない日で売り上げが2割は違うんだよね。
マジですか？やばいですね、当のチーフ。
So what you're telling me is that he should get paid more. So what you're telling me is that you should give him a raise, or maybe even a promotion, or maybe even. Never mind.
ああ、彼には確実に接客の才能があるよ。
うちの店のアイドルですね。
So like, This is like the opposite situation from MML, where Yuna is the one raking in all of the sales, and in this instance, it's you. I'm saying it's opposite because it's a guy instead of a girl.
彼は得難い人材だよ。はあ、本当に素晴らしい。